How's it going out there, YouTubers? Cyberneticshark here with another new movie review for you. So let's get right into this review and see what I saw. The other day I had the pleasure of watching an awesome new movie that I hadn't seen before, and that actually is about 4 years old now, and has been around for a while. And it is a dark fantasy comedy kind of rom-com type of film, and it's actually based on a book by Joe Hill, who is Stephen King's son, that writes kind of fantasy horror kind of books. And that film is the awesome Horns. Now, Horns is just an all-around awesome film and has an awesome and very original and different cast. Now, a lot of the people that are involved in this film were just really well-rounded and really made the film very enjoyable. I really didn't know much about the film until I watched it, and I haven't actually read the book. But from what I got from the movie, I'm guessing the book is really intense and interesting as well. But I thought it was an interesting concept from, beginning to end, and I was just really blown away by it. I wasn't sure how I was going to, enjoy it or like it, but at the same time I was like, this is kind of interesting and really good. Now, this awesome film was directed by Mr. Alexandre Aja. Now, of course, you know him as the director of such awesome films as the Piranha remake, Piranha 3D. He also directed another awesome remake that was just, I think, even better than the original one. Even though a lot of people are such huge, Wes Craven fans, I don't think it was probably one of Wes Craven's best films, but I do feel that Alexandre Aja did an amazing job with the remake, and that is The Hills Have Eyes, which I just thought that was a really well done remake, and I just really enjoyed it. I honestly, with the original, unfortunately, I laughed at the whole movie. I was absolutely just laughing because I thought it was so comical, and I thought the acting was so bad. But don't get me wrong, Wes Craven directed it very well, and he made a well-rounded horror film for, 1977. But at the same time, it's like, that enjoyment versus the remake's enjoyment, I just feel the remake's enjoyment, movie-wise, was just better. But Alexandre Aja did a great job of directing this film. He brought his flavor to it. He brought his type of directing and his kind of, inspiration of what he felt the book was like. And he really made an excellent and interesting type of dark fantasy comedy romance kind of rom-com type of film. And I just really thought he did a great job. I mean, all the elements were very well placed. I thought the editing was very well done, and it didn't seem too long, and also it seemed like they really took a lot of effort and put it into what the book was trying to bring, and really made an excellent film. Now, this film, like I said, has an awesome cast. Now, the awesome cast, we start off with the awesome Mr. Daniel Radcliffe himself. Now, Daniel Radcliffe in this film actually does an American accent, which I was totally thrown by. I actually have never heard him try to speak like American versus, his native language. And I was really shocked at how different he sounds when he talks with an American accent. And so I was actually kind of I looked away for just a second because I was paying attention to my phone or something. And I remember just listening to his voice and going, who is that? And I look back and I'm like, it's him talking. I'm like, really? I'm like, no way. I'm like, wow, he actually had a really interesting American accent and totally made him different. So I was really kind of thrown by that, and it was kind of interesting and new and awesome for the film. But we all know, of course, Daniel Radcliffe as Mr. Harry Potter himself. But I feel there's a couple other movies that I really enjoyed him in that I don't think a lot of people probably recognize him for versus, of course, Harry Potter because he made so many of them. But a couple of them that I thought were really good that he was in were such as the film from 2014, I believe it was when it came out, Victor Frankenstein with James McAvoy, where he plays Igor, basically. And I just thought that was a really well done film, and he was really good in it. I really enjoyed him in it and that character he played. He also was in another great film that I don't think he gets enough recognition for, and that is the film What If? Now, What If is an interesting film It's a rom-com with Zoe Kazan. It was really well done. I love the chemistry in the film. I just loved how everything in it flowed, and I just thought it was a really good rom-com. And it was nice to see Daniel Radcliffe kind of like in a romantic comedy type of film versus him in the Harry Potter films. So it was really fun to see him in a totally different element that he usually is in. And I think he's a really good dramatic actor too. And so, a lot of his films that he's done post Harry Potter have been really intense and really good. And he just made the main character in Horns so amazing. He really put a lot of great energy into the role and really was very accurate and, just well-rounded in how he played the character. I just felt he meshed well with everyone involved in the film, and they all worked in unison with each other. And he did an amazing job in the film as the main character, Ig. We also have in the film an amazing and gorgeous actress, Miss Juno Temple. Now, Juno Temple we all recognize from so many different films over the last, I would say, 10 years. But a couple that I really enjoyed her in were such films as the awesome Jack Black, Michael Cera comedy from 2009, Year One, which I thought was a really funny film. And she just was really adorable and kind of funny in it too as well. But another film I really enjoyed her in, and I actually forgot she was in it until I recently, looked it up again and watched it, and I was like, holy crap, that is her in that. I'm like, totally, I totally forgot. And I was like, why didn't I remember she was in this? She's, amazing. It's like, I just think she's fun. She always plays really cool characters. But the film that I'm talking about that also she was in that was really great is The Three Musketeers from 2011 with the awesome Logan Lerman in it. She was really awesome in that film, and I loved her in that, Victorian era type of look and everything like that during the Three Musketeers era. And she just was really fun in it, and I really enjoyed her. She was a good opposite in the movie for a lot of the characters that were involved in it. But in Horns, she was really amazing and very, very sincere. And I really enjoyed her character because you're not sure if you like her or if you hate her for how she treats Egg, or you don't, why did she, what happened to her, and, she played the character to the T, and I really enjoyed it. She was really believable, and she just did a really good job. Another actor that's in the film is Mr. Max Minghella. Now, Max Minghella has been in quite a few films over the last 10 years, too, or so. And he's an interesting actor. He plays really good villains. He plays really good, kind of like sinister, kind of asshole type of characters. He's really good at, playing, I'm a goody two-shoe, but I'm really not type of characters. He's really versatile, and he's really good in this film as the character that's supposed to be, the best friend of Ig. And he just is a well-rounded actor, I feel. But a couple movies that he was actually in that are decent films are such films as the awesome alien film, The Darkest Hour, which is a really awesome film. I really enjoyed that one with Emil Hirsch, and it was a really good, disaster alien type of film. Aliens trying to take over the world that are made of electricity, basically, and just, a really awesome, take on a different type of alien creature. And Max Minghella was really good in it. He played a really good character. Another film that he was in was actually this awesome comedy film starring Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn called The Internship, which was a really good and awesome film. I really enjoyed that. It was so super funny, and I don't think it got enough credit for how good of a film it was. And everyone involved was just really fun in it, and I really enjoyed it. But Max Minghella in Horns was really awesome. His character, you're not sure where he lies, who he is, really, except that he's supposed to be, Ig's friend and a lawyer, and you're not 100% sure what's going on with him, but you kind of have a suspicion about him a little bit, but you're not 100% sure, but you end up finding out that he's actually a bad guy in the film, and you're just like, wow, he played that character so amazing. He just really made the movie really enjoyable, and you're just kind of like, ooh, he is so evil. And you're just like, what caused him to be like this, to do the things he did, and you're just like, ooh, like, what's going on. But he was really good in it, and I really enjoyed him, and he made the movie, more enjoyable, too, because his presence was just so fun and meshed real well with Daniel Radcliffe and Juno Temple's character and everyone else involved. We also have in the film another actor that has been around the block a little bit over the last 10 years, and that's Mr. Joe Anderson. Now, Joe Anderson has, been in a few movies that a lot of people have enjoyed or have seen. And one particular one I thought was really interesting and good was such a film that starred awesome Liam Neeson, and that is The Grey, which was a really awesome film. So amazing. Probably one of Liam Neeson's best films of 2010s. Just an all-around awesome film. And he did such an amazing and, awesome job. And Joe Anderson's character in the film was really interesting too as well. It was a really well-rounded film. Another film that Joe Anderson was in that was a really good horror film, and also a remake of a George Romero film, is the awesome remake of The Crazies from 2010. Joe Anderson plays an interesting character in the film, and he was really awesome in both human form and zombie form in the film. And it was a really awesome remake of The Crazies, because the original is by far so good, but the remake was really well done too as well, and I really enjoyed it. And I thought it was a really good performance by Joe Anderson, and he really showed his acting chops, I feel, in the film that, probably kind of got him, to where he got so many other roles he has gotten. Because his role in Horns was really amazing, playing the brother of Ig and the older brother, and just being, so perfect and so talented and stuff like that in the film. And he has a drug habit basically, and he played it to the T, and he just really was awesome. He was well-rounded, really imaginative, and really brought a lot of flavor to that character, and it really made the movie pop and made it really enjoyable. To round out this awesome cast is another beautiful actress that has been around, 20 plus years and just is awesome and is always funny and really good in serious roles, is Miss Heather Graham. Now, Heather Graham, we all recognize from, a lot of people recognize her from Boogie Nights as one of her big first films, and, Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, and stuff like that. But a couple films that I really enjoyed her in that I think are some of her best films are such films as the 1988 film License to Drive with Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, which was a really awesome film. Absolutely love that movie. So stinking funny, so hilarious. Just everyone involved is awesome, and it's got a really young Heather Graham in it, and you're just like, wow, you're like, she really has not changed in, the 30 years since that movie came out. She really looks pretty much the same, and that's pretty impressive, especially in Hollywood with plastic surgery and stuff, and she doesn't look like she's had plastic surgery. So, still, such a great film, though. Another film that I feel she was really good in and funny was the 1998 film, Bowfinger, with the awesome Eddie Murphy and Steve Martin, and she kind of plays like the lead actress in the film, and she was so stinking funny in that film, and just, it was such a good movie, and just so much fun, and just well written by Frank Oz and directed by Frank Oz, and it's just an all-around fun film, and I thought Heather Graham was really good in it. But in Horns, Heather Graham's character isn't a huge part, but at the same time, it was a really memorable, some lines in the scene she's in that she is a part of, and it was a really well-rounded, character of this, person that, basically says lies and then tells the truth, and, she really played that, waitress really well. And it was funny to see her in the film, because I'm like, I really hadn't seen her in anything recently in a long time. And she was in this, and I was like, is that Heather Graham? And I'm like, no, and I'm sure it was. And I'm like, whoa, it's awesome. I love to see her again. And so she was a really fun to see in the film, and it was really enjoyable, and really made the movie a complete whole as well. Like I said, just another great talent for the film, and just made the movie more enjoyable. So if you're not familiar with what Horns is about, Horns basically is like I said, a horror fantasy, dark fantasy kind of rom-com comedy type of horror film. And basically the premise of the film is Daniel Radcliffe's character, Egg, finds out that his girlfriend, who's played by Juno Temple, has been killed. And he is considered the number one suspect that killed her. And so basically he has to go try to figure out, who really killed her and why he really can't remember that night, that this all happened on. And in the process of him trying to figure this out, he ends up growing these horns in his heads that start making people tell him the truth. And so that all, encumbers itself and is a part of the plot and about that helping him to get to the solution of who really killed his girlfriend and to basically clear his name. So it was a really interesting film, great concept. It was just pure entertainment, and that's what a movie is supposed to be about. And I thought this movie was definitely that. Giant 10 golden movie boxes up on this film. Thought it was really amazing. Well done. Really enjoyed it. All around, just a well-rounded and awesome film, and just everyone involved was really fun. Once again, I thought it was directed superbly, and just it was a really awesome new concept that I would have never thought of. Honestly, I was really blown away, and I'm kind of interested in reading the book now because the movie was so good. So I'm definitely going to be checking that out soon, eventually, read the book. But yeah, it was really well done film. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out, people. Really worth a watch. Horns, really amazing. And it's definitely worth the watch, people. So that's it for this movie review, folks. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Also, thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss one of these awesome videos. As always, check out that link down below about the Awesome Horror Pack. Now, the Awesome Horror Pack is a monthly subscription service of awesome horror movies on either DVD or Blu-ray that you get sent right to your door of awesome horror goodness. And that is also comes with limited editions that you can only get through Horror Pack. So, if you're interested, let me know down below and if you want to sign up, and I'll hook you up with an awesome discount. And as always, keep your eyes out for any older, newer videos you might not have seen mine yet. And as always, check in the next one.